Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another video of some F1 2020 career mode, of course, with Alpha Tauri. Today we're doing episode number 12 for the Belgian Grand Prix of Season 1. So we've only actually got 5 races to go. Obviously the finale will be in Brazil of this 16 race short calendar. If you've got a preference of any tracks you want to see for Season 2, then now's the time to let me know in the comments below. But of course, if you're new around here and haven't yet subscribed, then please do. It really helps me out, especially the fact we're aiming for 200 subs by the end of the year. We're currently on 179. So thank you to all of those who have subscribed in the recent days, weeks, and of course this month. This month has actually been insane. I mean, comparing to last year, we had like 3 hours of watch time, and this it's over 200 hours for this year. So a huge thank you from me. For everybody who's watched all my videos. But yes, we're just taking a look at the R&D, and you can see here we're sort of being blocked in on the engine side. We've only got these 5 upgrades, but because the 7 upgrades, excuse me. That's because the facility isn't upgraded of a high enough spec on the powertrain side. And I don't have any control over that. That is all down to the team. So, I mean, we've done well on the engine. We've got some upgrades. I'm sure Honda will bring some upgrades. We are going to thinking about purchase some. I was looking at some engine power, but I was going to wait and see if this, and of course our front wing actually failed. So I knew we wouldn't have time to get another one in with the time we had, because of course we had the summer break, but we're going to repurchase that. It's unfortunate the fact it hasn't arrived. And we also have, well, a couple of things. Kimi Räikkönen's retiring, which I think in 90% of the videos I've heard he's retired, so it's not surprising he has. I know that Vettel and Grosjean are 2 more people that could retire, and we've also got next year's regulations, but we won't need to worry about that because obviously we'll be looking for a move up to Red Bull. But interesting to see that Raikkonen's chosen to retire because we're in career mode and we've replaced Kvyat. Kvyat could be in line for that seat as opposed to an F2 driver, but hopefully there's a bit more driver changes. We look at the progress history. We have moved back ahead of Racing Point. It's not by much in this performance index. Obviously, if you saw last time out, this performance index isn't entirely truthful according to Car's emails. So as I say, take a pinch of salt. Clearly in some areas though we do have the pace, and others clearly we do not. As we cut to qualifying now, Belgium of course is a track that suits my driving style very well. Sweeping corners is fast straights, sweeping corners I do tend to do quite well here, so but it is get your clouds out time. Now unfortunately though, there won't be any qualifying from me because I was an absolute. I basically forgot to change the old power unit over, and around Belgium it means we would have been like a snail down the main straight, and would have been last, even behind the Williams, and that's saying something because they're in this career mode. They're on their 2019 pace, and we know how bad they were in 2019. So yes, that's unfortunate, but there's not a lot we can do. It does mean we're going to have obviously fresher power units, and hopefully we can just make them. We'll probably do the alternative strategy again like we did in Silverstone when we started last as well, and took that extra power unit as we were watching Lance Stroll. Hoping that Gasly can get a good. This is Gasly's time to shine. He hasn't shone a lot. He's only got 4 points. If it was up to me, I'd probably have sacked him by now. But I was surprised the fact that Dr. Helmut Marko hasn't said he's got 4 points. I've got 75. why hasn't he won? I've actually got a race win as well. Although Alex Albon also has won this season. But it is P10, obviously simulation times there, but that's why they're a bit 2x2x2. The Renaults have gone well. Surprising, they have got some upgrades. The McLarens are looking less likely as well now. Time for the race.
That was one of the worst qualifying performances I've ever seen. The only way is up from here. Hopefully.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Albon, Perez, Ricciardo, Ocon and Pierre Gasly, Norris, Raikkonen, Lance Stroll and Sainz, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Romain Grosjean and Nicholas Latifi, Russell and an Alpha Tauri rounds off our grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Jeff asking for a last points challenge there. We'll have to wait and see what we can do. But race strategy, we're going to, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to change this up. It is said to get sunny later on, so I'm not sure what effect that's going to have on the softs. They might go off, so interesting there. But we're going to go mediums to softs, of course, being a 25% race. The tyre wear is a bit broken, as it was on F1 2019, the fact that we need mediums go less long than the softs. But 5 red lights are out and away we go for the Belgium Grand Prix, and we've gone all the way to the right on the inside line going into turn 1, and of course this is where we just dive it down the inside, no care for our front wing, and that's us up into P12. I mean, that we needed that. It was a great start. We've got Stroll going to come back for us for Eau Rouge and Rayon, and we're just basically not going to allow that move to happen. Actually, we're going to move to the end of the straight. We do have a look around the outside of Norris and Ocon. We are going to get Gasly though, which our teammate's already fallen back in this race. He started 10th and he's already 12th, so that's a typical Gasly start this season. He's not done well. If he gets the promotion to Red Bull ahead of me, I'm not going to be particularly happy. I don't think he deserves to be in the Red Bull seat. As we move to the end of lap 1, we're now going around the outside of Lando Norris as we come out to the finish line through the bus stop, and that will be us into the top 10. And it doesn't take long until the following lap for our teammate to get Norris as well. So the McLarens, they haven't done much upgrading. The Renaults have sort of come alive with their upgrades, but the McLaren has sort of gone backwards now with their upgrades. They need to get some more on DRS enabled to move to lap 3. So we've got the 2 Renaults now, Ocon, Ricciardo. It's good that we're this close to Ricciardo because he tends to go backwards after he makes his pit stop, or through the pit stop as they're going side by side through Eau Rouge. Yellow flag. That was lucky for Ricciardo. I was preparing myself for yellow flag. There's still yellow flags out. I believe we can't overtake here, otherwise we're going to get a penalty. Oh, the clerk's out. Typical Ferrari. There, I mean, they were actually Leclerc needs that's damaged Leclerc's championship hopes actually, because he needed the points today after losing out, but it's not going to mean absolutely none. So it might be Hamilton against Bottas for the finale. We'll take a look at the end of the race and the strategy. He was looking all over the back of Daniel Ricciardo through the bus stop. We do understeer though, which compromises our line. Ricciardo's line is compromised as well though, and that allows Gasly to get in front of Ricciardo as well. So a little bit of a team tactic there to help Gasly get some more points as well. He's only scored 4 this season, which, considering the fact we're the 12th episode, is pretty poor, considering the fact we've had 75 and we're the 4th fastest car and a little bit twitchy through the top of the hill. And that's going to allow Gasly to make a run at us. He's going to have DRS, but he's not actually going that much faster. I'm not sure if he's got worn engine components compared to mine or not. We haven't really seen him retire. I don't think he's retired at all actually in this series, if I can't quite remember. As we jump to lap 5 now, it's time to come and make our one and only pit stop at the Grand Prix. Just set of softs. Ricciardo is coming in with us. 2 McLarens, a couple of them going even later in this Grand Prix. Remember we saw at Silverstone that Ocon didn't go to, that was a similar lap distance to here, and Ocon went to lap 8 to 13 and pitted hard. So don't be surprised you see a few cars on the hard tyres, but the mediums to softs, or the softer mediums, is the right strategy to go. So we come out ahead of Ricciardo, who I think's had another poor stop, and he has actually. So we jumped to lap 8, and all the cars that were in between us and Ricciardo have sort of come out ahead of him. He's lost time. He's now behind Lance Stroll and both of the McLarens outside the points, as opposed to hovering around the 10th position. So it's a 2-horse race now though for 8th place. Ocon, he's got too much pace in that. He's comfortable in that Renault as we go into overdrive mode. You see he's gaining a bit through the corners as I run a lower drag setup, as Gasly's going to have a look through us at the end of Pouon. And we're just not, he's going to have to try and have the inside line, but then thinks a second about, and he's going to lose a bit of time there to us. So, but I'm sure he's going to come back. He's going to have DRS. He's going to have DRS. We'll see we're extending. We're using Richmond. We saved our overtake for when the DRS. So we want to get overtake now, but Gasly is probably using overtake as well. He's gaining and gaining all the time now. Which side is he going to go? We're going to defend to the outside, which will come to the inside. Gasly has made contact with us. There's more contact there, and we've lost a bit of our front wing. This is the last lap of the Grand Prix. Well, Gasly really he's just lost he's no longer in my Christmas card list after that. Here's a replay, and side by side there, and then we cut off Gasly, but he's not going to give up here. He's going to have another look outside of Pouon, and of course our front wing damage has caused us pain, and we have to chop off Gasly. And it's too late for the Frenchman, and we won this particular war. But now that Gasly's on form, I expect him to go right moaning to Helmut Marko. That's not what we wanted. We were lucky there not to lose anything else. P8 could have been more actually if we had remembered to finish to replace put the newer components in. But yes, I'll definitely take P8 after starting last. So Jeff was right, we can get points. A big loss for Daniel Ricciardo. I wouldn't be surprised if Renault, but obviously driver transfers on F1 2020 are so much more less rather than they were in F1 2019. If this was F1 2019, I'd expect Ricciardo to be moving on to a new team. In terms of the standings, Valtteri Bottas has a 34-point lead over Lewis Hamilton. In actual fact, Vettel's caught up to Leclerc now as well. And we remain in P7. Gasly gets a couple more points and moves up to 17th place. Our 6 points to our 79, which takes our total to 85. Renault retain P5 ahead of Racing Point and McLaren. So all of those three are going to be on the move at some point, and we'll have to watch ourselves if we're not going to slide down the order coming to the end of the season.
That was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Well, we used the dive bomb at the start to great effect, and then just had that
Interesting
slipstream.
result today. Would you say that you're happy with your performance?
Oh yes, I enjoyed it out there, despite Gasly trying to block us out and take the position away from us.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Second race in a row, miracles have happened. Claire not answering stupid questions for once. Obviously the rivalry breakdown, we're not going to win this rivalry against Albon, so the quicker we can get a new rival in, the better, and then we can more team rep. Yes, we got a Honda supplying with us an upgrade, so that's going to become between here and the Italian Grand Prix, so that's going to give us a bit more power over the likes of Haas and Racing Point. We're already faster than Williams in a straight line. We have got some more upgrades. But looking at upgrades now, looking at our own R&D, thinking to the end of the season. Obviously, we're not going to bother, especially as the fact I don't fancy staying at AlphaTauri more than the end of the season. So, yes, so we won't be doing any when we do know which departments are going to get upgraded, then we won't look to. Basically, we're gonna leave AlphaTauri in a bit of a lurch, and potentially Gasly as well if he decides to stay with the team for another season as well. But obviously we've got until November. So, but yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, see more episodes of the AlphaTauri Commode. Until the next VR6 time, take care. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.